Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right.
Right now.
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 Because it's time to write now.
Right now.
Right.
Right now.
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 Welcome to another daily writing session. Today, we're going to go for a little bit. Let's see, we'll have to see how much time we have. And we're going to do a afternoon writing sesh. I'm working on the third draft of my novel, The Last Scarecrow. So I'm going to show you my process. As always, for me, third draft is a read aloud and I would say like a minor line and style edit. So come join. I'm on Act 2, whether you want to come work with me or just come hang out. By the way, welcome. I'm Kaufman, a daily writing streamer, fantasy author, and dragon enthusiast. So we're going to hop right into it. As you can see, I have my writing software all set up and I am eager to get into it. So I know last we had seen, let's say I got through chapter 12. All right, so I think we're at chapter 13. We are pushing. That's right. That is right. We are at the introduction of our fun, feisty little character. Everybody's favorite little pixie. I was like, okay, I have to adjust the hyperlink on here. Let's see. Oh, this thing's being weird. Oh, that's weird. I don't know why that's doing that. Strange. Let's see, where is my styles? Say it was this one. Yeah, I have all my titles, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I have all my titles hyperlinked throughout the Word document, so it makes it easier to jump to them. Let's see. Did it? Yeah, I don't know why. What the heck? There we go. All right, all fixed. I had to get through that first. Okay, so let's see what we see. Oh, that's right. I decided to start with a dream sequence. All right, it is. All right. So I'm going back and forth. I'm okay. So what I'm asking myself is, because I've adjusted this dream sequence a little bit. I'm asking myself if this dream sequence is the right sequence to have. Okay. Well, we'll see how it sounds. Chapter 13. When push comes to pebble. My love, I'll cross any flame, fly in every shooting star, travel through space. Her grayish blue eyes stared accusingly up at him from a bed of rocks. No feathers, no quilts. Her clothing was awash in dirt and mud as she sank into the earth like quicksand, and he at her bedside, as if gripping her melting fingertips would save her. Save the beanie or burn in hell, scare. He tried to hold on, but she melted away until he was left alone, standing back in the field of shorn, mutilated scarecrows. Guilty eyes, accusing looks, haunting expressions. It's not my fault. Two halves of a scarecrow rose into the air above the corn until they merged. He looking down at his bloody hands, looking down at his bloody twig, vine wrapped, looking down at his bloody vine wrapped twig fingers, he whispered, "It's not my fault. We'll do that." Above him, before him, two halves of a scarecrow rose in the air above the corn until they merged, forming large onyx wings. Two halves of scarecrow bodies rose into the air above the corn until they merged, and before him, two halves of scarecrow bodies rose into the air above the corn until they merged into large onyx wings. A silhouette was given shape until the first demon came into existence, until the first demon appeared. The creature was tiny, its red scales shining bright, its horns ablaze, its wings aflutter. The creature was tiny, its red scales burning bright, its horns ablaze, and its eyes burning infernos, and its eyes like burning infernos as it pointed at him. I curse you with nothingness. Her eyes stared up at him from the ground. From the ground. Her eyes stared up at him accusingly. Mangled scarecrow eyes from the field. Mangled scarecrow eyes accused him. From the ground, her eyes stared at him accusingly. From the field, mangled scarecrow eyes accused him. Mangled scarecrow eyes haunted him. He screamed as the demon dove at him. Scarecrow screamed as the demon dove at him. And shine straw bright, and shine straw bright, and shine straw brain. Scarecrow sat upright, breathing profusely. He felt a pecking sensation on his forehead. Mr. Crow perched atop his head, pecking at him and repeating and repeating the wake-up call. The wake-up call. Scarecrow sat upright, breathing profusely. He felt a pecking sensation on his forehead. Mr. Crow perched atop his head, pecking at him and repeating a wake-up call. Repeating the wake-up call. He tried catching his breath, realizing in terror that his hat wasn't on his head. He grabbed the crow by the chest and pulled him to eye level. "What did you do with my hat?" Scarecrow roared. Silence. Mr. Crow looked to the ground where the hat had fallen off. Scarecrow let go and reached for the hat. He was reassured at the feel of the coarse. Let's see. The coarse leather stitching. The coarse leather stitching was reassuring. The coarse leather stitching brought about a sigh of relief as he returned it. The coarse leather stitching brought about a sigh of relief as he returned it squarely to his head. The crow hovered above him with a craned neck and a questioning look. The crow hovered in the air. The crow flapped in the air. The crow flapped in the air with a craned neck and a questioning look. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaled deeply. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaled deeply, and let it go. He shook off whatever that was. "I'm sorry. He breathed again and rubbed the brim of the hat reassuringly. "I saw things while I slept. I saw things while I slept. I'm sorry. He breathed again and rubbed the brim of the hat reassuringly. "I saw things while I slept. Terror dreams made flesh," Mr. Crow squawked. Mr. Crow squawked. Hey, what's up, guys? Hello, Francisco and Mama Maggie. Welcome, welcome. By the chest or the neck. It's probably here. You're probably talking about when you grabbed him. Scarecrow sat upright, felt a breathing. He tried catching his breath, realizing in terror that his hat wasn't on his head. He grabbed the crow by the chest. He grabbed the crow by the neck. Yeah, I don't think it would strangle. I don't think it would strangle the crow like that, even if he is. I think grabbing the chest is more Scarecrow-like. You grabbed the crow and pulled him to eye level. "What did you do with my hat?" Scarecrow roared. Silence. Mr. Crow looked to the ground where the hat had fallen off. Scarecrow let go. Mr. Crow looked to the ground where the hat had fallen off. Scarecrow let go. Scarecrow let go and reached for the hat. The coarse leather stitching brought about a sigh of relief as he returned it squarely to his head. The crow flapped in the air with a craned neck and a questioning look. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaled deeply, and let it go. Oh, yeah. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaling deeply. Good catch. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaling deeply. He shook off whatever that was. I don't think we need that. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaling deeply. "I'm sorry. He breathed again and rubbed the brim of the hat. He breathed. He took another breath. Let's go. He took another breath while rubbing the brim of the hat reassuringly. While thumbing. He took another breath while thumbing the brim of the hat reassuringly. "I saw things while I slept." Yeah, I think that's good. Hey, what's up, LeMay? Welcome, welcome, friend. Hope the writing vibe is treating you well today. See, Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaling deeply. "I'm sorry. He took another breath while thumbing the brim of the hat reassuringly. "I saw things while I slept." "Terror dreams made flesh," Mr. Crow squawked. Terror dreams. Yes, it was a dream. I feel like I've dreamt before, but I don't know. Scarecrow looked around the stable as a soft breeze. I need to fix this moment. I need to fix this beat. Terror dreams. Yes, it was a dream. Yes, it was a dream. I think. Dream equals death. Let's see what would. All right. Yeah, I have to fix this slightly because I've continued to make adjustments to how dreams work in the manuscript. Um, all right. Actually, let's do that. Terror dreams. Yes. Dream. Let's go dream eaters. I think that's going to work. Terror dreams. Yes, is a dream. Dream eaters. All right, and I think let's do that. So terror dreams. This is a dream eaters. No dream eaters. Actually, let's. Dreams are death. Dreams are death. Just crow circle calling death. Dreams death. Scarecrow side. Okay, actually, no, that's going to be fine. Scarecrow side is to continue to question his feathered companion's sanity. And then I can loop it back here. He looked around the stable as a soft breeze swept through the air and was reminded of the nearby smell of decay. Let's go. I think that works because it's just going to be Mr. Crow being Mr. Crow right now. We'll call it a Mr. Crow moment. Scarecrow rubbed his forehead, inhaling deeply. I'm sorry, He took another breath while thumbing the brim of the hat reassuringly. I saw things while I slept. Terror dreams made flesh, Mr. Crow squawked. Terror dreams. Yes, it was a dream, I think. Dreams are death, Mr. Crow cawed warningly. Scarecrow peered up at him questioningly. After a moment, dreams are death? I don't think I need questioningly. Not necessary. After a moment, dreams are death? Mr. Crow circled, cawing, death, dreams, death. Scarecrow sighed as he continued to question his feathered companion's sanity. He looked around the stable as a soft breeze swept through the air and was reminded of the nearby smell of decay. Let's go. In no time at all, they were outside of the stables, crisscrossing between ruins and back on one of the main roads leading toward the edge of New City. Scarecrow looked around, while trying to understand where he was, but everything looked the same. Destruction and ruin spread out in all directions. Let's see. In no time at all, they were outside of the stables, crisscrossing between ruins and back on one of the main roads leading toward the edge of New City. Destruction and ruin spread out in all directions. Before, he had the last robots. Before, he had hand and foot to guide him. Now he had. Mr. Crow flew just before him. Before, he had hand and foot to guide him. And now he had Mr. Crow. And now he had the crow. Mr. Crow flew just before him. Just before him, scanning in all directions. The gigantic wall marking the city's edge rose up. Rose nearby. Mr. Crow flew just before him, scanning in all directions. Let's see. We need to give them a little bit more sense. Let's see. They finally reached the main path. They finally reached the main path, approaching the edge of the city. Mr. Crow flew just before him, scanning in all directions. The gigantic wall marking the city's edge loomed overhead. However, this seemed to be the only section of the wall where there was the gigantic wall marking the city's edge loomed high overhead. They came across a section of the wall which had been destroyed. They came across a section of the wall, now a pile of rubble. They came across a section of the wall, which was a pile of rubble. Came across a section of the wall, now a pile of rubble, suggesting something had blown through its foundation. I don't think I need that. They came across a section of the wall. They came across a section of the wall, now a pile of rubble. Let's see. They came across a section of the wall, now a pile of rubble. Yeah, I mean, they get out of the city pretty quickly, but I think that's fine. I mean, it takes them a while to get into the city. That might be too fast. In no time at all, they were outside of the stables, crisscrossing between ruins and back on one of the main roads, leading toward the edge of New City. Destruction and ruin spread out in all directions. Before, he had hand and foot to guide him, and now he had the crow. Let's see. Leaving the city was a much faster process than getting in. I don't think that's necessary. All right. As he walked, as Scarecrow walked, he noted the clouded. As Scarecrow walked, he noted the clouded sky, wondering why it looked as if the clouds were bleeding. He noted the clouded, bloody sky, as if the clouds themselves were bleeding onto the city. As Scarecrow walked, he noted the clouded, bloody sky, as if the clouds themselves were bleeding onto the ruined city. He kept expecting. He expected some monumental he half expected something to rain from the sky, but all was clear. If anything, this was the nicest. He half expected something to rain from the sky, but all was clear. If anything, this was the nicest. This was the, if anything, it felt like a cool autumn day. Okay. Let's see. So I think that extends their walk slightly. Let's see. Glancing ahead, they were nearing the city's edge much faster than when he had entered. Okay. I think that's good. Oh my, that sucks. Like the wind, it sounds like the weather's pretty rough for you over there. That sucks. It's actually a pretty sunny day for us. I think it was raining last night too. I think that extends it. So in no time at all, they were outside of the stables, crisscrossing between ruins and back on one of the main roads leading toward the edge of New City. Destruction and ruin spread out in all directions. As Scarecrow walked, he noted the clouded, bloody sky, as if the clouds themselves were bleeding onto the ruined city. He half expected something to rain down on them, but all was clear. If anything, it felt like a cool autumn day. Glancing ahead, they were nearing the city's edge, much faster than when he had entered. Before, he had hand and foot to guide him, and now he had the crow. Mr. Crow flew just before him, scanning in all directions. The gigantic wall marking the city's edge loomed overhead. They came across a section of the wall, but this time they approached a section of the wall. They approached a section of the wall in rubble. They approached a section of the wall in rubble, as if something had once torn through its foundation. Before Mr. Crow could fly off, Scarecrow pointed to the top of the rubble, where stretched many cracks in the wall large enough for both them to fit through. Scarecrow pointed to the top of the rubble, where stretched many cracks in the wall. I was like, that doesn't make sense. With ease, Scarecrow climbed the wall, the chunks. With ease, Scarecrow climbed the metal, the rusted metal chunks. With ease, Scarecrow climbed the rubble. With ease, Scarecrow climbed the rubble, somehow feeling like this was the right way to depart this area. At the top, he viewed the ruined landscape. He viewed the ruined landscape one last time. At the top, he viewed the ruined. He viewed New City's ruins. He viewed the ruined landscape one last time, with a gut feeling that he wouldn't be returning. Anytime soon. He pushed the images of death and destruction out of mind, and he pushed the images of death. He pushed the images of death and destruction out of mind and tried to remember the city for what it was meant to be, a place of community and hope. He breathed deeply and chuckled. A place of community and hope. He breathed deeply and chuckled. He had a place of community and hope. He had another feeling. He had a feeling this world retained very little hope. Chuckling. He had a feeling this world retained very little hope. Maybe he should be more hopeful. Maybe he should act more hopeful in future encounters. Maybe he should act more hopeful. Smiling sadly, he had a feeling this world retained very little hope. He resolved to be more hopeful, uplifting, even in future encounters. Smiling sadly, he had a feeling this world retained very little hope. He resolved to be more hopeful, uplifting even in future encounters. All right, I think we've clarified that. Glancing ahead, they were nearing the city's edge much faster than when he had entered. Before, he had hand and foot to guide him, and now he had the crow. Mr. Crow flew just before him, scanning in all directions. A gigantic wall marking the city's edge loomed overhead, but this time they approached a section of the wall in rubble. The gigantic wall marking the city's edge loomed overhead, but this time they approached a section of the wall in rubble, as if something had once torn through its foundation. There were a few tiny holes at the top of the rubble pile, which they might be able to fit through. With ease, Scarecrow climbed the rubble, somehow feeling like this was the right way to depart this area. This was the right way to depart. At the top, he viewed the ruined landscape one last time, with a gut feeling that he wouldn't be returning anytime soon. He pushed the images of death and destruction out of mind and tried to remember the city for what it was meant to be, a place of community and hope. Smiling sadly, he had a feeling this world retained very little hope. He resolved to be more hopeful, uplifting even in future encounters. Cap, that's a really cool quote by chance. Yeah, Cap. I don't think that sounds like me, but I think this is actually a really well written quote. Perchance he ought to comport himself with a countenance more beset by hope, as though fortune itself had whispered sweet promises into his very soul. That's a really well written quote. I love that. While you're over there turning into obsidian. Hey, what's up, Brooklyn Beauty? Welcome, my friend. I love your spitballing so much. It's actually really cool. I want to use it so badly too. Mr. Crow flew through a hole-sized crack with ease as Scarecrow forced himself into one. He was just barely able to fit through. Pushing himself through the crack was another problem. He pushed and he pushed, eventually bursting out the other side as the leg of his pants tore and straw shot out in all directions. Scarecrow rolled down, losing his balance. Scarecrow fell face first. Losing his balance, Scarecrow fell face first, rolling down a short slope, straw shooting out in all directions until he landed with a thud on ground level. Losing his balance, Scarecrow fell face first, rolling down a short slope, straw shooting out in all directions, until he landed with a thud on ground level. Straw and stuffing shooting out in all directions until he landed with a thud on ground level. Opening his eyes, he was greeted by a dull red glow of tiny blood red crystals, a small field of them. Immediately, thinking back to the monstrosity encounter in the market. Or was it the first demon? Actually, immediately thinking back to the encounter in the market with the monstrosity. Or the first demon. or the first demon. He pushed himself, monstrosity, the first demon. He pushed himself away, crawling back as far as possible. All right. Opening his eyes, he was greeted by a dull red glow of tiny blood red crystals, a small field of them. Immediately thinking back to the encounter in the market with the monstrosity, monstrosity or the first demon, he pushed himself away, crawling back as far as possible. He hit the wall and caught his breath as he surveyed the field. No, the crystals had not a field. No, not a field. The crystals had formed a trail of sorts. He looked around, half expecting for something to happen. He looked around, half expecting some beast to rise up and attack them. He looked around, half expecting some beast to rise up and attack them. But all was silent. Mr. Crow hung midair nearby, watching. Scarecrow pointed at the blood red crystal path, which pooled sporadically around the side of the wall. Looking farther down the wall where it caved in, the crystal formation seemed to have originated there and trailed away from the wall, creating a path that led farther away from the ruins. Off into a field of grass beyond the city. Scarecrow pointed at the blood red crystal path. Oh, what's that? I don't know if that's... I don't think this is necessary, actually. I don't think that's necessary. Yeah, I don't think we need that. Hey, what's up, Vomika? Hope all's doing well, my friend. The monstrous encounter. Yeah, he encountered a couple of chapters back. He encountered a creature called the which I refer to as the monstrosity. And I think monstrosity is the best reference to it. Opening his eyes, he was greeted by a dull red glow of tiny blood red crystals, a small field of them. Immediately thinking back to the encounter in the market with the monstrosity, or the first demon, he pushed himself away, crawling back as far as possible. He hit the wall and caught his breath as he surveyed the field. No, not a field. The crystals had formed a trail of sorts, leading away from the city. A trail of sorts, leading away from the city into a grassy field beyond. He looked around, half expecting some beast to rise up and attack them, but all was silent. Mr. Crow hung in midair nearby, watching. We should stay away from those, Scarecrow cautioned as he picked himself up and tried not to think about from whom they had originated. One problem at a time, he said reassuringly. Inspecting the tears in his coat and all of the straw he had lost led him to the realization that he wouldn't be standing much longer at this rate without either more straw or stuffing. Inspecting the tears in his coat and all of the straw he had lost led him to the realization. Inspecting the tears in the coat and all the straw he had lost. Was worrying. Inspecting the tears in the coat and all the straw he had lost was worrying. Inspecting the tears in his coat and all the straw he had lost was worrying. He wouldn't be standing much longer at this rate without either more. He wouldn't be standing much longer at this rate without either more straw or stuffing. Mr. Crow, I need straw, stuffing, or something to fill myself with. Scarecrow grabbed either side of his coat and spun around, or I won't last very much longer. He poked a finger through his a hole in his abdomen. He poked a finger through a hole in his abdomen. Caw, Mr. Crow screeched as he circled about and landed upon Scarecrow's shoulder. He eyed his feathery friend. Let's see. I don't think we actually need dialogue there. Mr. Crow cawed as he circled and landed upon Scarecrow's shoulder. Eyeing his feathery friend with a questioning look, Scarecrow asked, "Any ideas?" With a finger, he poked another finger through holes. With another finger, he poked through holes in his side, right arm, and left leg. Mr. Crow tilted his head. "I don't understand myself either," Scarecrow motioned with two fingers walking on his palm and falling down. "I don't understand myself either." He pointed toward himself and nodded toward his straw. With an eye roll, he plucked a piece of straw and a small handful of stuffing from within his other side and held it before the crow's beak. Mr. Crow's eyes lit up as the bird snatched. Mr. Crow's eyes lit up as he snatched the straw and stuffing with his beak and gulped them down in one bite. Scarecrow flung his arms in the air as the crow. Scarecrow flung his arms in the air as the crow flew overhead. Mr. Crow, that's not food. Oh, I forgot. It's a funny thing. He's losing straw, and Mr. Crow eats. I guess he kind of set himself up for that one, though, didn't he? Let's see. Food makes dirt and gardens grow. The crow. Food makes dirt and food makes dirt and the garden grow. Mr. Crow cawed. Circled around. Let's see. Food makes dirt. No, actually, that sounded better before. Food makes dirt and gardens grow. Mr. Crow cawed, circled around Scarecrow, and flew alongside the wall in the opposite direction from the rubble. And blood red crystals. Food makes dirt and garden grow, he repeated and glanced back. Food makes dirt and gardens grow. Mr. Crow cawed, circled Scarecrow, and flew alongside the wall in the opposite direction from the rubble and blood red crystal. Food makes dirt and gardens grow, the bird repeated, glancing back. The bird repeated, glancing back. Scarecrow sighed. He got a sense from his companion's pace. Scarecrow sighed. He could tell. Scarecrow sighed. He could tell when the crow had a direction. Scarecrow sighed. He could tell when the crow had a direction in mind. One could only hope. He followed along and glanced over at Mr. Crow, who flew steadily in the air before him. There was a lot he didn't understand about his new friend. How long had he been searching for his nest? Why did the last robot say he only started speaking recently? And was this crow crazy? Scarecrow smiled sadly. Something about his feathery traveling companion felt so simple yet mysterious, yet forlorn. Felt so simple yet forlorn. All right, and then I think we get to Pebble in the next page or two. I think we're about to get to Pebble's entrance. Okay. I was like, I forgot that I did so much setup in this chapter. Yeah, okay, I see what I'm doing. So, I mean, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I do about 8, looks like 9 pages, which would really be 7 pages before we get to Pebble. Yeah, I mean, their interaction with her is pretty lengthy. Okay. Well, continuing, well, just gonna need to continue on unshortening this part. And it was like some like the walking stuff I don't think is as necessary, so I can move them along to their next destination. Yeah, I think right now what happens, I think I give Scarecrow some interiority moments as he's walking, but I don't think as much of it's going to be necessary right now. Since the last chapter is kind of a down chapter, we can probably start moving the pace back along again. Okay. Well, I feel like I was making some good progress. Cap, I love that. You're throwing down verses. Love it. He could tell the crow's empty ocular black puddles had found the reflection of a path. I love that. Let's see. Awesome. Well, I think for me, that's a good stopping point for today, my friends. I knew I was going to be able to get just under an hour, but yeah, hopefully. Hopefully we're able to get in a good little bit of motivation over here, get in a little bit of good progress, my friends. And yeah, so I feel pretty good, able to kind of push through and may do a little short writing sesh this Sunday afternoon. But that's kind of all that I got for you guys today, because I have to move along to my next meet. But don't forget, my friends, we are halfway through signups for the WriteNow A Thon. So don't forget to sign up if you want to host an activity. The WriteNow A Thon is our huge end of year writing celebration where writers can come and host brainstorming sessions, critique sessions, games, panels, workshops, and whatever else. This is going to be the writing festival that you don't want to miss out on. So make sure to come join. I'll be back tomorrow at some point with another daily writing sprint. And that's all that I got for you today, my friends. Thanks for joining today. I appreciate it. And you do you. Get some progress in. If you want to keep writing, go start a co-working session over on the Discord. Always a great way to come and chat with the other writers in the community. But that's all that I got for you. Unfortunately, that brings you to the end of the stream. Don't forget, words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers. Words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman, and I'll catch you on the morrow. Stay creative, writers. It's time to write
Right
Right
now.
now.
Sorry.
right now, not right now, but right now. Read now, right now. Is that right?
Words are wind, but stories are forever. I'm Kaufman.